Suot ko pa ang dati kong t-shirt. Dito kasi nagsimula ang pag-ibig ko sa serbisyo publiko na sa halos 5 dekada, parang forever na ata talaga. Nung ako ang national chairman ng Kabataang Barangay, nakita ko ang sakripisyo ng ating mga opisyal sa mga purok, sa sitio, sa barangay. Sila ang tunay na mga bayani natin sa ating pamahalaan, mga kapitan, kagawad, kabataan na walang sawang nagtatrabaho araw-gabi kahit kulang ang suporta at pondo. Sa totoo lang, sa dinami-dami ng ating mga pinapasang batas, halos lahat bumabagsak sa barangay para sa implementasyon. Sila na ang nagpapatupad ng national programs. Sila pa rin ang abala sa mga lokal na responsibilidad. Sobra na sa trabaho pero kulang sa pondo. Nasususpindi pa kapag may bulilyaso sa implementasyon, arestado pa nung panahon ng COVID kapag may nangyari na labag sa mga protokol. Samantalang malaki ang bahagi ng budget para sa kanila, sana nasusunog lang naman itong budget sa dami at sa dalas ng eleksyon. In the immortal words of the great American President, Thomas Jefferson, municipal corporations are small republics from which the great one derives its strength. Ito na po ang barangay, a small republic indeed. As a way to strengthen local government units, local autonomy is ensured by Section 25, Article 2 of the Constitution. However, it's often taken for granted that the barangay, the basic political subdivision in the country, is also a local government unit, much like the cities, municipalities, and provinces. Among LGUs, the barangays and its officials are often deprived of the opportunity to exercise adequate discretion in policy matters because of the duties and responsibilities passed on to them by both the national government and the bigger LGUs. So much of their time and energy is devoted to these tasks that they are not able to effectively exercise many of their core functions, nor hardly to even initiate their own barangay programs and projects. Much has changed since my days in the barangay. For today, barangay officials are given so many more duties, such as Republic Act 9003, Ecological Waste Management, Republic Act 10121, or the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act, RA 9710, or Magna Carta of Women, RA 9262, or Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children, to name a few. In addition, the DILG requires barangay officials to participate in a plethora of programs such as the Community Gardens Program, weekly cleanup, road clearing operations, various information campaigns, implementation of anti-illegal drugs program, the Talipapa program. The list is endless. These responsibilities are on top of duties and functions prescribed by the local government code, which includes the administration of the Katarungan Pambarangay, Lupon Tagapamayapa, the organization of emergency groups, and the general supervision over the SK, among many, many more. For their part, the Sangguniang Kabataan officials are also burdened with responsibilities such as consulting and coordinating with all youth organizations. They are given the duty of coordinating with national government agencies for the implementation of youth development projects, promulgating resolutions to carry out the objectives of the youth in the barangay, initiating programs to enhance social, political, economic, cultural, intellectual, moral, spiritual, and the physical development of the youth. As members of the youth sector, the SK often have to juggle these obligations with other equally important personal commitments and their studies, obligations with their families, activities necessary for their own developmental well-being. Furthermore, all elected barangay officials and SK are required to undergo and attend numerous trainings and seminars, adding to the complexity of their already challenging responsibilities. Because of the foregoing, it's hardly surprising, therefore, that from 1982 to 2022, the average term of barangay officials is almost 5 years. It is evident The 3 years are grossly inadequate for these officials to comply with their added obligations and at the same time exercise their own discretion in promoting the general welfare of their constituents. Sa totoo lang, ilang beses ko na kayo ginambala ang aking mga mahal na senador dito sa ating Senado upang palawigin ang termino ng kapitan at opisyal ng SK, una noong 2019 at pagkatapos ng ating halalan noong 2022. At yung nakaraan na BSKE na 2023 ay siyang bungad nito. At ngayon, kakampi naman natin ang Department of Budget at lahat ng ating economic managers sapagkat sabi nila ang ginastos sa barangay elections noong nakaraang Oktubre umabot ng 18 billion at baka umabot ng 20 billion sa Disyembre ng 2025. Aba, kung ang perang ito ay itutok na lang natin sa proyekto na talagang mapapakinabangan ng tao, higit na mas mabuti pa. Kakampiran natin ang COMELEC sa usapin na ito. Ayaw din nila ng barangay election sa 2025 kasi magiging super election year na raw ang taon na susunod. May BARM election na kinakabahan sila pagkat ito ang kauna-unahang historic BARM election. May midterm elections na automated at parang magiging piyesta na ang eleksyon sa Mayo. Imbes na magkaroon ng patong-patong na eleksyon, mas makabubuting bigyan ng sapat na panahon ng mga barangay na magampanan ng kanilang mga tungkulin at may pagpatuloy ang kanilang mga proyekto nang walang pag-aalala sa eleksyon kada 3 taon. At sa pagkakataong ito, wala pang 2 taon kasi nakaraang taon pa lamang yung eleksyon at nung sila ay umupo. To resolve these issues, today's proposed measure seeks to set the term of barangay officials and members of the SK to 6 years for the present term, with a maximum of 2 terms. Under the bill, the next regular barangay and SK election will be on the 2nd Monday of May 2029 and every 6 years thereafter, and with a longer fixed term. The barangay officials and members of the SK will deepen their understanding of both national and local issues, as well as implement their own medium and long-term initiatives at the barangay level. In addition, setting the term of barangay officials and members of the SK will assure us that finally the barangay and SK elections will never coincide with the national and local elections, thus ensuring a more focused and effective governance cycle, while at the same time allowing COMELEC to have adequate time to ensure peaceful and orderly elections. Finally, this longer term of 6 years, which was in fact the original term provided for the barangays previously, will negate the reasons commonly advanced for ad hoc extensions of the terms of barangay and SK, much decried by the Supreme Court decision issued last year, that the term is too short, that there is election fatigue, or similar justifications that they felt indeed were not valid. As of 12 September, more than 1,151 barangay, city, municipal, and provincial resolutions from all parts of the country, as well as 165 resolutions from the SK chapters nationwide, have endorsed this measure. And I ask my distinguished colleagues to hear their pleas and finally enact Senate Bill 2816, setting the term of office of barangay officials and members of the SK and for other purpose. Kilalanin din natin ang hirap ng ating mga barangay, lalo na yung maliliit sa isla at kabundukan. Marami pang pagbabago ang kinakailangan sa ating mga barangay. Tama lang nabigyan sila ng dagdag na honorarium upang maibsan ang bigat ng kanilang trabaho. At syempre, isama na rin natin sa GSIS para may maaasahang financial security ang pamilya nila sa oras ng pangangailangan. Panahon nang ituring natin mahalagang bahagi ang barangay sa pamahalaan. Sa kabuuhan, ang pagpalawig ng termino ng mga barangay at SK ay hindi lang praktikal. Isang malaking thank you rin ito sa kanilang sakripisyo at trabaho. Ibigay na natin sa kanila ang tamang suporta upang magtagumpay sa kanilang mga tungkulin para sa kapakanan ng ating mga komunidad, malaki man, sa syudad man, maliit man, o sa kasuluk-sulukan. Maraming salamat po mga Ginoong Pangulo at mga mahal kong kasamahan sa Senado. Sana naman maaksyonan na natin ito dahil kung hindi, baka ipapabarangay pa lahat tayo.